guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brittany, and for today's video I wanted to do 21 things I learned by 21. I actually filmed this video last night, but I hated the way it turned out because I talk a lot. So I am refilming today. I have a list on my phone, so I'm going to kind of be going back and forth. Let's get into it. So number one is cut negativity out of your life. All of it. Jobs, friends, relationships, people you thought would always be a comfort but now suck the life out of you. I feel like this one is so cliche, but until you actually have to cut someone out of your life, you don't realize how hard it is, and it's always worth it in the end. If you cannot stand it anymore, it's not worth the heartache for yourself. Number two, learn to do things by yourself. This is as simple as like going to the grocery store by yourself or going to Target or whatever it is. Learn how to do things by yourself because there's not always going to be someone there to come with you and run errands with you. I'm learning this the hard way. Number three, adulting is hard. Take it one step at a time. It really is so hard. You're going to make a ton of mistakes, and you don't have to be perfect in the very beginning. I'm 21 and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, so. Number four, stop trying to please everyone and start doing the things that make you happy. This one is so important. I feel like, especially in high school or as kids, you do things that you think like make your parents happy, or you play a sport that your parents played, or you play an instrument that your older brother did, and if those things don't make you happy, if you can't stand the trumpet or football, like, don't play them. Don't do that, and start doing things that make you happy. If your mom wants you to be a softball player but you really want to join the chess club, do that. I don't know why those were the only things that came to my head. Number five, if you want it bad enough, find a way to make it happen. You can't wait for life to happen to you. You have to go out and get it. There are certain things that, like, patience is key and you gotta wait for it, but if it's something you really want, you have to go out and get it. You are in control of your own life. Number six, you can always go back home, but you have to leave home first. I think home has to be a place, or where your parents are, or where your family is in general. I think home is a feeling. I think it's where you feel safe and where you feel comfortable. But I also think that to know that that's where you need to be, you have to go out and see the world, or you have to go out and try other things. You can always go back home. Even if you think you can't, you can always go back home. I dropped out of college and I was like, shit, like now I have to go back home, and it kind of feels like you're failing. But I knew it was better for me in the long run, and that's all that mattered. Number seven, learn to let go. You can't live in the past. You have to live in the present. You can't be too focused on things that have happened already. They've happened, they're gone, it's done, it's in the past. You have to learn to let go. You can't let your past hold you back. Number eight, never chase, never settle, know your worth. This one's pretty self-explanatory, but it's just something that I think a lot more people need to be aware of. You don't have to feel like shit. That's the gist of it. You're worth more than the shitty high school boyfriend or girlfriend. Number nine, oh, this is good. This one's a good one. Fuck the idea that you need to love yourself before anyone can love you. Like, do you understand how stupid that sounds? That mentality is like what makes people think that no one's ever gonna love them. Like, if you are insecure in yourself, you don't love yourself, why would you tell someone that like doesn't feel good about themselves that nobody's ever gonna love them until they learn to love themselves? That sounds like the biggest challenge ever. Why would we say that? Like, scratch this completely. It's over. It's done. We're moving on. Number 10, it is completely okay if you don't want to go to college, if you drop out of college, or if you never use your degree. I went to college for a year. I dropped out. I came home and I did something that I loved. And I do love what I do. And one day I do want to go back and get my degree. But it wasn't where I needed to be at the time. You could go through all 4 years of college thinking you want to be a doctor and get a science degree. I don't know how this works. And then you could decide, actually, I want to be a teacher, and you have to go back and do something else, or you get a job that's completely unrelated and you end up loving it. That's fine. Number 11, date, don't date, make out with everyone you meet, hook up with strangers on the weekends, stay a virgin, be rebellious, or don't. Don't feel like you have to just because everybody else is. If all of your friends are in relationships, don't just get into any relationship. Do what you want to do. If all of your friends are single and you're in a relationship, that's fine. If you want to party on the weekends and have fun with guys or girls or whoever the heck you want to have fun with, that's totally fine. You don't have to do things just because your friends are doing it. Number 12, take a risk. Take all the risks, big or small. Stop waiting for life to happen and start making it happen. Do something stupid. Buy something expensive that you've always wanted. For the love of God, live a little. It is not that serious. I feel like nowadays, young people, people that are graduating high school or graduating college or just in that area of their life are so focused on getting a job and like being able to afford things and buying a house and like moving on with their life, and that's fine, but they're missing out on times that like this is when it's time to have fun. And I think that you need to have a good balance. Work hard, play hard, but you have to balance it out. You have to do both, or else it's gonna be a horrible life when you're 80 and you're looking back thinking, I didn't do anything. That being said, number 13 is know your limits. Don't blow the money that you don't have, and having fun and being irresponsible are not the same thing. You can have fun while being responsible. I forget who said it, I think it was like Kanye West or something, said you can't afford something until you can afford to buy it twice. And I think that's great for when you're like thinking you need a really expensive camera or a new laptop or something. Can you afford it? Can you really afford it? Number 14, when it comes to relationships, and I mean real relationships, don't lower your standards or expectations. You deserve the world. You don't deserve to feel like shit. I know that this one is easier said than done in the sense that if you're in a bad relationship already, it's hard to leave, and I completely understand that. But when you're looking for a relationship and you're looking to settle down with someone, you gotta make sure that it's the right person. It can't just be anyone. You really have to make sure that they're good for you. Number 15, it's okay to fuck up and make mistakes. You learn from them, but don't let your mistakes hold you back. It's the same kind of thing as you can't live in the past. You can't let your mistakes hold you back. Everyone makes them. You just gotta learn from them and move on. Number 16 is be unapologetically yourself. Who cares what anyone else thinks? I know that we all care a little bit. Everyone cares a little bit what everyone else thinks about them. But if it's something that makes you happy, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. If it's something that's who you are, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Own it. It's who you are. And don't apologize for it. Number 17, you don't need 100 friends. You don't even need 10 friends. I've got maybe 5 really good best friends, and 5 best friends are so much better than 100 friends that aren't going to be there when you need them. I think having 5 friends that you know are good for you and have your best interest at heart are so much better than having 100 friends that may not have the best intentions. Number 18, society has warped our view of love. Things that should be expected of your partner should not be rewarded. You are expected not to cheat and fuck over your partner. You should not get a biscuit for being a decent human being. This needs to stop. This whole social media trend of people who are just being decent human beings are being praised. No, don't praise them. They should be like that normally. Praise them when they go above and beyond, not when they're just nice people. Number 19, your mental health is so important. It is just as important as your physical health. Please do not neglect it. Sometimes you need a day to just focus on self-love. Self-love is great if it's take a bubble bath and a face mask and make sure that your room is clean and kind of get your life together and make sure that you're spending time on yourself. But self-love is also calling yourself out on bullshit and being more aware that you're doing something wrong or that you don't have it all together, and sometimes it's tough love for yourself too. I always love the quote that went something like, it's important to make someone happy, but it's important to start with yourself. Number 20 is simply to trust your gut. I think over the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been aware of that, and every time I have a gut feeling something bad is gonna happen, and I ignore it and then something bad happens, I'm like, I have to trust your gut. It's the same kind of thing as when you're in high school and you take a test and you circle A and then you cross it out and you circle C and A ended up being the right answer. It's go with your gut. It's right 90% of the time. And lastly, number 21, I cannot stress this enough, is to be kind. There's way too much hate and evil in this world nowadays, And if you can restore someone's faith in humanity just by being nice to them, why wouldn't you? There are so many natural disasters that have killed so many people in the last like 6 months. I don't understand why people are killing people. I don't understand why things like the bombing at Ariana Grande's concert or the Las Vegas shooting or like Sandy Hook Elementary School, like I don't understand why things like that happen. I know when you're one single person in a small town, you don't think you can change the world, you don't think you can make a difference, but I think being kind, doing one random act of kindness a day, changes the world. I think it also escalates, and if you do something kind for somebody else, that person's gonna do something kind, and it'll be a chain reaction, and hopefully we will have less mass shootings and we'll have less people killing people. Just to end this video, I just want to say to be kind. If you only take one thing from this whole list, it is to be kind to somebody else. Okay, so that is going to be it for this week's video. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up if you liked any of the things on my list. If you want to add anything to the list, leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you are being kind in the comment section below and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I will see you in next week's video.